This game is brought to you in part by Good Success Christian Church and Ministries, a purpose-driven church where they want you to experience the love and love the experience. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to TSDN, your number one media source for DCIAA high school sports. I'm your commentator, play-by-play, color commentator Chris Dunlap. It is my pleasure to welcome you to Turkey Bowl 52. It'll be the Dunbar Crimson Tide taking on the Roosevelt Roughriders. Dunbar has won the coin toss and they have elected to defer. So Roosevelt will have an opportunity on offense first. It'll be number 4, Tristan Waters, set to kick off for the Crimson Tide. Back to receive. It'll be number 2, Jason Collins Jr., who has sported 6 touchdowns, 6 return for touchdowns so far this season. Excited to get this one underway. And here we go. Looks like Roosevelt is going to swift kick it, and they'll keep it away from Collins. It'll be Reggie Jackson. Oh, looks like the ball is on the ground. Does Dunbar have possession? We're going to find out. Nope, it's going to be Roosevelt football. Ooh, looks like that one could have spelled disaster early for the Roosevelt Roughriders, but nonetheless, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Roosevelt Roughriders. Looks like we have a penalty on the play. Let's get the official's call. Looks like it's a sideline warning charge to the Crimson Tide. But nonetheless, it'll be 1st and 10. Looks like the ball will be spotted at the 20-yard line for the Roosevelt Roughriders. The Roughriders come into this one 10-1 overall, undefeated in league play. Quick stat, the Roughriders have not lost to a DCIAA team since 2019 in the playoffs, where they lost to this same Crimson Tide program. At the helm for the Roughriders will be number 4, junior quarterback Khalil Wilkins, who we saw with a big game last year. Took home the Turkey Bowl MVP trophy. Let's see what Wilkins calls today as he comes out in an empty set. Dunbar looks like he's trying to go on a hard count, trying to get Dunbar to jump. Looks like they'll shift, and looks like we have a penalty on the play. Looks like there may have been movement by the Roughriders early. It'll be a false start. Charge to the Roughriders, not how you want to start a football game. If I'm Roosevelt coming into this one, the main thing I want to do, I want to play smart football. I want to play not only smart football, but 4 quarters of football. As they'll come out in the 2-back set, it'll be Juan Pratt and Kevin Montague. Looks like they'll hand it to Pratt, who we saw with a big game early. And still on his feet, Juan Pratt hauling the mail. Doesn't pick up much. Looks like a game of close to nothing. Looks like a game maybe of about 2. It'll bring up 2nd down and about 13. Looks like Roosevelt is going right to the line. They'll stick with that 2-back shotgun. Looks like Pratt will go in motion. They'll hand it this time to Montague. And he'll be stuffed by that Crimson Tide front 7. Looks like the first man there was number 11, first team all-leaguer D'Angelo Bolden on the tackle. Looks like Roosevelt is going to go as it is 3rd down and long. Looks like Roosevelt is going to come into a spread formation, 3-by-1, trips at the bottom of your screen. Looks like Wilkins is going to call an audible. Still in the shotgun. Looks like there's some confusion on the Dunbar side of things. Wilkins will sprint out. He'll find number 1, Montague. Good stick right there by Brown. And good job finishing on the tackle. That'll be number 1, Tremont McCoy on the tackle. Michael Brown coming up from the safety spot with a good stick. And we got McCoy coming up and finishing it. Good job by the Crimson Tide to get off of the field here early. That's what I wanted to do if I was Dunbar. As Roosevelt comes into this one averaging just under 30, just over 36 points a ball game. I did not want to stay on the field if I did not have to. A 3-and-out is exactly what I wanted to do. And they'll get ready to punt it away. Roosevelt will. Back to receive will be number 5, Mike Brown. Looks like they're going to give him an opportunity. and it'll go out of bounds. Good kick, way to keep it away from Brown. Looks like that'll be at about the 38, 39 yard line, and that is where the Crimson Tide will take over on offense. Coming into this one, the Crimson Tide come into this game 8-3 overall, 5-1 in league play. The only blemish on their league play record is to this Roosevelt team, as they lost 29-26 to this Roosevelt team early in the season. One thing Dunbar cannot allow to do, and that was a good job by them to get off the field. One thing Dunbar cannot do is they come onto the field in this first offensive possession here in Turkey Bowl 52 for the Crimson Tide. One thing they cannot do is allow Roosevelt to go up big early. That's one thing that hurt them in the regular season matchup. They had to dig themselves out of the hole. Don't want to see that today. It'll be number 7, Jabril Scott at the helm for the Crimson Tides. They come out in a bunch trips formation. Looks like number 1, Tremont McCoy will motion into the backfield. They'll hand it off to him. And looks like he'll pick up about 3, maybe 4 yards. Looks like closer to 3. That'll bring up second down, maybe about 8. That was one of my keys to victory. One of my keys to victory again for the Dunbar Crimson Tide. Got to stay in this one. Can't allow Roosevelt. You can't allow Roosevelt to get up big on you here in Turkey Bowl 52. Scott will hand it to McCoy once more, and that Roosevelt front 7 makes. As you heard, the PA announcer said tough sledding up in there. That'll be number 6, Javari Peaks on the tackle. Now for Roosevelt, I think you're doing exactly what you want to do. I haven't seen. Looks like Michael Brown is not on the field currently. Oh no, yes he is. Looks like he's going to line up on the slot to the top of your screen. Want to keep him in check today. Don't want to allow one person to beat you. As Brown will go in motion. Looks like he'll motion as the up back into the backfield. Looks like Scott will keep it himself. Good decision, and he'll slide. Looks like a gain of about 6 on the play. I'll take it. And that'll bring up 4th. I believe that'll bring up 4th down. Let's see what offensive coordinator Bobby Enoch calls on this 4th down play. Yep, they'll keep their offense on the field. Scott will come out in a 1-back shotgun. Michael Brown to the bottom of your screen, and he'll go in motion into the backfield. Looks like they're going to call another play. Scott getting the audible from the sideline. Looks like Roosevelt comes out in the cover 2. Scott will take the snap under heavy pressure. It'll be Juan Pratt, and he will be sacked. That'll be number 8, Juan Pratt, with his 6th sack of the year. But wait, ladies and gentlemen, looks like we have some laundry on the field. If that play stands, that will be a turnover on downs, giving Roosevelt excellent field position. Looks like it will be holding charge to the Crimson Tide, and Juan Pratt gets his team off of the field with that sack, gets his defense off of the field with that sack. And the Roosevelt Roughriders will take over offensively again with excellent field position. After that, turnover on downs forced by Juan Pratt and the defense of the Roosevelt Roughriders. We'll get another look at Khalil Wilkins and this offense as they come out on Dunbar's 40-yard line, 7:53 remaining in the first quarter. As they come out in the 3-back shotgun. Looks like Jackson will go in motion. Looks like Wilkins is going to keep it himself. Oh, what a move at the point of attack. Khalil Wilkins, we've seen what this kid can do with his legs, and he shows us once again what he can do in the read option game. Khalil Wilkins taking his team inside the 15-yard line. Now the Roosevelt Roughriders, this is where they become dangerous in scoring position. After that run by Wilkins, he'll come out in the shotgun. Looks like Jackson once again will go in motion. Looks like he'll throw, and the pass is incomplete. Just a bit outside. That'll bring up second down for the Roughriders. Second down and 10. Ball will be spotted at the 16-yard line of the Crimson Tide. What a run right there by Wilkins, and great move at the point of attack. Made the defender miss, was able to pick up more yardage.
We're looking at second and 10.
Wilkins this time come out in the 2-back shotgun. Looks like Jackson will go in motion. Wilkins drops back under pressure. He evades the rush. He'll throw. Able to get it away, but pass falls incomplete. Good job by that Dunbar front seven getting pressure. That would be number 9. Michael Clark on the pressure. Almost had Wilkins for a sack. Nonetheless, Wilkins was able to get rid of it. That big body, big strong frame that Wilkins has, able to get rid of that one. Now have to take the sack. Good job by Dunbar, even though they gave up a big play on that first play of this drive to Wilkins, able to hold the Crimson Tide, the Rough Riders to 2 incomplete passes, bringing up 3rd down. Wilkins will drop back, looks under pressure once again. This time able to evade the rush, and oh my goodness, Clark is able to chase him down, and that'll bring up 4th down. Wow, what a play right there by Clark. Wow, that's how you play defensive end. That's how you play edge right there. Wilkins, good job by Wilkins to evade the rush for a second. Clark getting on his horse nonetheless, chasing Wilkins down. What more could you say about that play? That was absolutely impressive. It'll bring up 4th down and 8 inside the 15-yard line at the 14. Let's see if Wilkins decides to go to the end zone as they come out and trips to the bottom of your screen. Let's see if Wilkins and his Roosevelt offense goes to the end zone, try to put points on the board. Looks like they'll send a man in motion. He'll go back. Wilkins looks, he throws, they're going to the end zone, and it's caught, but he is hit by Brown. That is not a touchdown, but it is enough for a 1st down. 1st down, Roosevelt, and that'll bring up 1st and goal. Ball will be spotted inside the 5-yard line. It's a good strong throw and a good strong catch. Once again, Roosevelt exactly where they want to be in scoring position. Looks like Wilkins is getting a call from the sideline. Wouldn't be surprised here to see them hand it to Pratt. Let's see what they call. Up, fumbles the snap. Looks like Wilkins is going to keep it himself, try to power his way, but he will be. I thought stopped short, but it'll be a touchdown. Theodore Roosevelt. Khalil Wilkins does it himself. Looks like it was going to be a broken play, but again, we saw it a lot last year. He pulled some Houdini moves, and he pulled another one right there, able to get in the end zone. Touchdown, Theodore Roosevelt. Roosevelt draws first blood in Turkey Bowl 52. Khalil Wilkins takes it himself. No surprise there. Touchdown, Theodore Roosevelt. And they'll try to tack on the extra point. And looks like they'll have an even easier opportunity after that one. Once again, Roosevelt, exactly where they want. Roosevelt, exactly where they want to be. See what they call up, bump the snap. Looks like Wilkins is going to keep it himself, trying to power his way, but he will be. I thought stop short, but it'll be a touchdown, Theodore Roosevelt. Kick is up, kick is blocked. Extra point attempt is no good, but nonetheless, Roosevelt draws first blood here in Turkey Bowl 52. And they lead the Crimson Tide 6-0 with 5:33 remaining in the first quarter. Roosevelt will kick off after that touchdown. And it'll be number 2, Kenyatta Carmichael Jr. on the return. Doesn't get much. And down 6-0. Dunbar will come back out on the field looking to stay in this one. Now, I said it earlier, and I'll say it one more. Dunbar does not want Roosevelt to get up big early, because if they do, it could spell trouble for them. And if I'm Dunbar, I don't want to get behind versus this Roosevelt team in the Turkey Bowl. I don't want that. I don't desire that. Can't have that. Can't allow that to happen. So Dunbar gotta answer here. Gotta put some points on the board. It'll be Scott coming in the 2-back shotgun. 2 receivers to his left, and he will hand it to McCoy. McCoy right up the gut. That's a good strong run. That's a good gain right there. I'll take it if I'm Dunbar. That looks like a gain of about 8. I'll take it. I will absolutely take it if I'm Dunbar. Again, if you're not running the ball successfully in DCIAA, you're not winning football games. Again, that's one reason Roosevelt's so successful, because they have a two-headed monster in the backfield that's accounted for 1,300 yards of offense this year. It'll be second down for the Crimson Tide, and they'll hand it to McCoy once again. McCoy still on his feet. Roosevelt has to wrap up because McCoy is pulling the pile, and he will pick up a first down and then some. Tremont McCoy. Yeah, the pop of the pads, if I'm the Roosevelt faithful, the pop of the pads may sound nice, but that don't make tackles. I need to make tackles. We're not trying to just hear pads. We're trying to make tackles. And that right there is an example of what happens when you don't wrap up. First down, Crimson Tide. This time they'll hand it. Looks to be number 9. Michael Clark on that one, who we saw earlier with a sack. Looks like that'll be number 9. Clark on the run. It's like a short gain. Looks like Dunbar's going to go right to the line. That'll bring up bring up second down and 8. It'll be Clark once again, and Clark right up the gut of that Roosevelt front 7. If I'm Dunbar, this is exactly what I want to do. Rasan Wright, Dunbar alum, told me in the DMs yesterday, said if I'm Dunbar, I want to run it right up the gut against this Roosevelt team. Looks like Dunbar's taking his advice through the grapevine, and it's working for him today. Again, it'll be first and 10. Scott at the helm. Looks like it's Clark in the backfield with him, with Carmichael to the bottom of the screen to his left, trips to his right. And that'll be a short gain. That's a good job right there by Roosevelt that time. Able to stuff Clark. First man there looks to be number 0, Montez Minor, who we heard a lot last season. Comes into this one with 6 sacks of his own. One thing I want everybody to see, as they brought Brown across the formation and handed it to Clark, that maybe they're trying to set up something to get Brown in space, because it doesn't appear that Roosevelt really keyed in on Brown right there. So that may be something to watch out for, because again, we get Michael Brown in space, he can do some damage. Let's see what Dunbar calls here. It'll be Scott looking, evades the rush, he'll throw. Oh, that's a good pass to the sideline. And that is Carmichael. Oh, he runs over him, defender, and picks up close to a first down. Whoa. Now that's how you finish a run right there. Get some yards after the catch. Ooh, that's a good run That's a good run after the catch right there by Carmichael Jr. Good throw right there by Scott as well to the sideline, away from the defender, only where his guy could get it. Great job right there by the Crimson Tide to pick up. Actually did pick up a first down. And they'll come out in the 2-back shotgun. This time they will hand it to Brown. And looks like may have been a hold, but nonetheless, Juan Pratt making his presence felt, sealing the edge. Juan Pratt keeping that outside arm free, grabbing a handful of jersey and taking down Brown for a loss of about 1 or 2 on that play. What a play right there by Pratt. Not only was Pratt first team all DCIAA running back, but second team DCIAA defensive lineman, and we see why right there. Just a baller. That'll bring up second down and 12. And this time, oh my goodness, a halfway couldn't get the handoff. And that Roosevelt front 7 coming up and making some noise. Looked like the first man there was Reginald Anderson. My goodness. Scott barely could get the handoff off. And Roosevelt was on top of him like white on rice before he could even get the handoff off. My goodness. Let's see if they bring the pressure here on third down. I know this is the first game TSDN has done all year, but for those of you who have been subscribed for a number of years, you know exactly what I'm getting ready to say. Penalties! You cannot have penalties in a championship game or any game for that matter, you are not going to win that way. And right now it's 3rd and West nowhere because of that penalty. Scott looks under heavy pressure, able to evade the rush, but he will not get far as Reginald Anderson takes him down, and that'll bring up 4th down. If I'm Dunbar, I'm punting it away. It looks like that is exactly what they are going to do. That is a good decision if you are the Crimson Tide. You already gave Roosevelt a short field, and they made you pay for it on their on their second offensive drive. So if I'm Roosevelt, I'm going to kick it away. But what I'm not going to do, however, I am not going to kick it to number 2, best return man in the city right now, Jason Collins Jr. I'm not kicking it to that kid. I'm kicking it as far away from him as I can. So I'm sure Coach Maurice Vaughn, a.k.a. Coach Bink, has told Carmichael to kick it away from Collins. Here's the snap. That is almost blocked, but they do a good job of kicking it away from Collins. I'm telling you, I'm not kicking it to him, and they did a good job right there. And Roosevelt will come out on offense, looking to go about 2 scores. If I'm Roosevelt, this is exactly what I want to do. Force 2 3 and outs. Force a turnover on downs the first play, force a 3 and out on the next drive. If I'm Roosevelt, they're doing exactly what they want to do. Roosevelt is doing exactly what they want to do. And it's no surprise to see it. Roosevelt comes out on offense. It'll be number 4, Khalil Wilkins at the helm. Looks like he was getting the play from the sideline. Looks like they were missing a man. Nonetheless, looks like everything is back to rights. 1st and 10, ball spotted. Looks to be at about the 25-yard line. They'll hand it to Pratt. Oh, nice move by Pratt. Ooh, that'll be number 6. That'll be number 6, Tayshawn Batts, coming up and making the stick. Ooh, that was good contact right there. Finishing off that play. That's what I like to see. That's what I like to see. Coming up from that linebacker spot. Boom! That's how you play football. That's how you play linebacker. All you young guys may be watching. That is how you do it. And at the end of 1, the Roosevelt Roughriders lead the Dunbar Crimson Tide 6-0. No, check that. Looks like they were thinking about running out the clock. DCIAA officials are saying, no, we're going to run one more play. 3 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. 3 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter. See if Roosevelt just... At the end of 1, it'll be Roosevelt 6, Dunbar 0. Make sure y'all keep it locked right here to TSDN. You're watching Turkey Bowl 52 here on that Sports News Network. Welcome back to the start of the second quarter. Roosevelt up 6-0 over the Crimson Tide as they come out 2nd down and 8. It'll be Khalil Wilkins going on a hard count. Looks like he's going to get an audible from the sideline. Looks like Dunbar's coming out. Looks like in a couple 1 set. Looks like it'll be right up the middle. Looks like that'll be number 1, Kevin Montague or Montague. I think it's Montague. I hope I'm pronouncing that name right. Y'all know I've been out the loop for a minute. Give me some grace. It'll be a short game. Good job by that Crimson Tide. Front 7. This will bring up 3rd down and about 6. See if Wilkins keeps it himself as they'll drop back. Look, he's going to throw. And it'll be caught. That'll be number 7, Jeff Leftwich the 2nd. And it looks like that'll be enough for the 1st down. Looks like Montague thought it was for him. Good thing he didn't get his hands on it. As Wilkins was able to put that one on a rope and find Leftwich for a 1st down. Looks like it'll be Juan Pratt. Looks like he tried to bend it. The only thing he got bent into, the only thing he found after that bend, tried to cut it back. The only thing he cut back to with a bunch of white jerseys and red and black helmets. And that'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Gain of nothing. Again, Turkey Bowl 52. Two teams met earlier this year. 29-26, Roosevelt over Dunbar in the first meeting.
Find a seat in the stands in order to be courteous to the people behind you. Thank you.
Will come out 1st, 2nd, and 10. Wilkins will keep it himself. And that's a nice throw right there on the slant.
Coming inside, that pass is complete. That ball is going to be right.
Looks like that's number 3, DCIAA leading receiver, Riley Jackson. One of those Santana Moss for all you DC Redskin Commander faithful. Small in stature, but he comes up big when it counts. And it'll be Pratt on the run once again, dragging defenders, and that'll be enough for a Pratt first down. However, we do have a penalty on the play. Let's get the official's call. It's in the backfield, so it may be holding. Looks like we got 2 flags on the play. Maybe holding, we'll see. Looks like we do have holding. Charge to the Crimson Tide. Charge to the Roughriders. That'll bring up 2nd down. That'll cost them about 10 yards. I heard the great John Madden say one time, there's usually holding on just about every play. It's about whether or not the official wants to call it every time or not. I thought that was pretty funny. Not saying that it wasn't a holding on that play. From my vantage point, didn't see it. But I'm not the official. They have a much better view than I. So I'll take their judgment for it. And again, Roosevelt has put themselves in a hole. After that penalty, Roosevelt has put themselves in a hole. It'll be 3rd and long. Looks like we have a stoppage of play. Not sure what the confusion may be. Supposed to be 2nd down. Looks like they got 3rd down up on the sticks. It should be 2nd down. Should be 2nd down. It should be 2nd down.
But this is what you need to understand.
From my vantage point, looks like it was 2nd down. But nonetheless, as you see Coach Chris Harden arguing his case, looks like it's going to stay 3rd down. 3rd down and long. Ball will be spotted now at the 22 of Roosevelt. 3rd and 17, 3rd and East Capitol Street. Wilkins will drop back under heavy pressure. Able to evade the rush for a moment. And looks like he's going to keep it himself, and he will be tackled. That's a good open field tackle. Looks like that'll be number 24. Dayon Fitch. Number 44. Yamar Johnson on the tackle. Good job by Johnson to get a shoestring. Bring Wilkins down. Force a 4th down. 3 and out. Force Roosevelt to punt. From Dunbar, that's exactly what I needed. And the punt is away. Looks like they're going to do exactly what Dunbar's doing to Collins Jr., and they're going to keep it away from Michael Brown. I absolutely agree with that. Looks like we do have another penalty on the play. Don't want to turn this into a flag fest. Want to keep it clean out here. I don't want a lot of stoppage of time. Y'all know how I am. I want to see some football.
More than likely, there's a fan somewhere in the stadium is having trouble seeing because I just received a set of glasses.
Nonetheless, let's see what the call is.
You can't find them, you need to check with me here in the press box.
Let's see what the referee's call is right here.
Glasses and they are prescription. And the penalty will be for an illegal substitution.
It's like an illegal sub. Shots to the Roughriders. Looks like they'll re-kick. I'm Dunbar. I'm not mad at the re-kick. No, looks like Roosevelt is going to re-kick. Looks like Roosevelt is going to re-kick.
You need some sports account. You need to see Barry Scott. right on the far end to the right of the bus stop. And while you're there, you might want to get a bun from Lou's Buns. Best buns you ever had. Oh my.
It's like Roosevelt to re-kick. Once again, back to receive. It'll be number 5, Mike Brown, for the Crimson Tide. And looks like looks like Dunbar may have gotten caught with too many men on the field. And it'll be a fair catch by Michael Brown, and that'll be marked off at the 35-yard line. That is where the Crimson Tide will take over on offense. Looks like Dunbar got away with one. Looks like they had too many men on the field. Looks like they were getting caught in the substitution. A little bit of confusion on the sideline, and they were able to get away with it. Again, like I heard John Madden, rest in peace to Mr. Madden, as I heard him say years ago. So holding on every play. It's about whether or not the official wants to call it. Looks like we had the same type of situation there, whether he wanted to call it or he did not see it. Either way, Dunbar's able to sneak out of there without getting the penalty. It'll be Brown in motion as Scott hands it off. Oh! At Roosevelt front 7, that'll be number 6 again, Javari Peaks, coming up from that Mike linebacker spot. Closing the door on McCoy, who we've seen with some really good runs in this one. Good defense by both teams. I expected a bit of a more high-scoring game. Good defense by both teams. Looks like we have another penalty on the play. Roosevelt, and of course they are signaling us against the Crimson Tide, and it is. Looks like an illegal motion, legal procedure. That'll cost Dunbar yardage. One thing I don't want to do if I'm Dunbar, or if I'm Roosevelt for that matter, I don't want to punch. I don't want to shoot myself in the foot with penalties. I can't have that. I can't shoot myself in the foot with penalties. Look like Scott will drop back, and it's almost intercepted. Number 0, Montez Minor, literally has 6 points in his hand. Woo! Scott got to survey the field better than that, because I'm telling you, if Minor was able to hang on to that one, he'd still be running next week. That was going to be an easy 6 points and an absolute momentum shift in the favor of the Crimson Tide. Looks like Roosevelt is going to send some pressure right in Scott's face. Scott is able to get rid of the ball. McCoy, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, and he will be forced out of bounds. That is a heck of a play call right there. Great play execution by the Crimson Tide, and great job by McCoy of taking it the distance, tiptoeing the sideline, and putting his team in position to tie this game up. Good job right there by the Crimson Tide. Let's see if they can do something with it. And looks like we have, say it ain't so, say it ain't so. Looks like we have a flag on the play. Oh no! 50-plus yard pitch and catch. If this one is wiped out, it is going to destroy the, oh man. And that one is against the Crimson Tide. Oh man. And that is going to back them up from being inside the red zone to being marked now at the 29-yard line. Oh. And it may back them up even further. Looks like from the spot of the penalty, looks like they'll be, oh man, that hurts. That hurts me. That hurt me. That hurt me. Little jawing between the teams right here. Oh man, that pretty much wipes out that 50-yard pitch and catch. Man. Oh. Y'all know what I'm about to say. Penalties. Dunbar takes away a scoring opportunity. Oh man, I'm not sure what the penalty is. Looks like it may have been a crackback block. Say what you want about that penalty, being a rule, but nonetheless, it was a penalty. That'll be first down from the 45, and they'll hand it to Clark. But if I'm Dunbar, you got to put that out of your head, of course. But man, that was gonna be a momentum shift. Probably was gonna get in the end zone. That wipes it out. Can't shoot yourself in the foot in a game like this, and that's what Dunbar's done. Looks like after that penalty, looks like Dunbar's a little discombobulated. Hopefully they're able to get themselves together, because it looks like that one also is against the Crimson Tide. A false start. Can't win like that. You're not gonna win like that, and more importantly, you're not gonna beat a team like Roosevelt like that. Penalties. Man, Dunbar got to clean this up, or it's not going to end well for him. This time they'll hand it to Clark once again. And the Roughriders are saying, no, sir. First man there, number 0. Hearing that name again, Montez Minor. Looks like we have an injury on the play. It'll be an injury timeout. After the player is able to make it up under his own power, it'll be a pitch and catch. That'll be Scott hitting his receiver, number 2, Kenyatta Carmichael Jr. Looks like a gain of about 10. That'll be 4th down and 5. Let's see if Dunbar can keep this drive alive. Fourth down and 5. Scott in a 2-back shotgun. Send Brown in motion. Scott under pressure. They're trying to set up that screen again. But this time, it is snuffed out by the money team. And that'll be a turnover on downs. Looks like the first man there calling that name again. And I told you in the pregame report on Instagram that we were going to call that name a lot. D'Angelo Bolden. Bolden on the tackle. And there we go. Roosevelt takes over on offense after turnover on downs by the Crimson Tide.
There's a timeout taken, and that timeout comes at the 5:30 mark.
Looks like we have a timeout on the play. Looks like timeout is charged to the Roughriders. Timeout comes with 5:40 remaining in the second quarter. After the Roosevelt touchdown, Wilkins will come out. After the Dunbar turnover on downs. I'm a little rusty, y'all. Forgive me. Wilkins will send the man in motion. He'll look. He'll take a shot. Has Jackson. And it is in and out of the hands. No, not Jackson. That is in and out of the hands of Leftwich. And good job by Brown for knocking it away. Leftwich was making a second effort at it. That's a good ball right there by Wilkins. Pass falls incomplete.
We will be getting all league honors.
It's a good job right there. I'm not mad at Roosevelt taking a shot right there. Leftwich had a step on Brown. Just got to come in with that one. Big players make big plays in big games. So I'm not mad at Wilkins giving his receiver an opportunity to make some things happen. But nonetheless, it'll be 2nd down and 10 after the incompletion as Wilkins comes out in a 2-back shotgun with his 2 horses in the backfield, and they'll hand it to Pratt. And Pratt will be tackled. That'll be number 17, Kelvin Thompson. knifing in that defensive end spot, sealing the edge, not allowing Pratt to get outside, and then knifing back in and making a tackle. It's a good sound play right there from Thompson. That'll bring up 3rd down and about 7 for the Roughriders. The ball will be spotted. Looks to be just inside of the 45-yard line. Looks to be the 43 to be exact, as Wilkins has 3 receivers bunched to his right, joined by Juan Pratt in the backfield. Wilkins looks, he'll throw. Oh, what a throw by Wilkins. Oh my goodness, you talking about threading the needle. Oh man, what a throw right there. And that'll be Riley Jackson calling that name once again. DCIAA leading receiver coming up with the 1st down reception. Man, what a throw right there by Wilkins. And great job by Jackson to keep focused and pull that one in, picking up a 1st down. Dunbar really needed to get off the field in that one. Let's see if Roosevelt, on his 1st down play, as they're inside Dunbar territory, goes to the end zone. As Wilkins looks, he'll make a throw to the sideline. Oh my goodness! Mike Brown showing why he is the reigning, I'm going to throw a little wrestling in there, reigning, defending DCIAA Stars Division Player of the Year, comes up, boom, making a stick. Woo! My goodness. Ooh. That's how you separate a receiver from the football. That's how you do it. Great hit by Brown. I love a defensive back that'll come up and get their nose dirty. I live for that right there. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10 after the incompletion forced by Brown after that stick. Woo. It'll be Pratt. Looks like he's going to change direction, and he will not be tackled. Juan Pratt keeping his balance, staying on his feet. After that stick by Brown, one thing Dunbar has to do, they got to wrap up, especially a running back like Juan Pratt. Got to wrap him up. Juan Pratt will break tackles, as we saw him do right there, and that'll be a gain of about 7 for Pratt. Dunbar got to do a better job of wrapping up. This will be 3rd down for Wilkins. Looks like Dunbar wasn't set. It'll be a toss to Montague. Montague to the outside. That'll be enough for a 1st down. That'll be another 1st down. That's the 2nd 1st down on this drive for the Crimson Tide. For the Roughriders. And it'll be Wilkins handing off to Montague one more time. Good job by Montague. Make some moves in a hole, and that'll be a gain of about 8. If I'm Roosevelt, I like where this is going. I'm getting big yards on the ground. Again, as I said before, if you're not running the ball in DCIAA, you're not winning. And they'll keep it on the ground again. A toss to Montague. And then he'll come out. And then Juan Pratt will come right back in. These two, it's a good 2-headed monster that Roosevelt has in the backfield with Pratt and Montague. And this time they'll hand it to Pratt. Pratt cuts it back. Stiff arms a man, still on his feet. Good job by the Crimson Tide to wrap him up this time. One thing we'll see Juan Pratt do is break a lot of tackles. We saw a lot of that last year in this same ball game versus the H.D. Woodson Warriors. They had a really tough time bringing Pratt down, and he made him pay with 181 yards. Looks like him and Montague are well on their way, and I hope I'm pronouncing that name right. Well on their way to a great performance for both. Low snap. Looks like Pratt lost his footing right there in the hole as he was trying to cut back. Doesn't look like he's hurt or anything like that, but looks like he did lose his footing. That'll bring up 3rd down and about manageable. Wouldn't be surprised if they hand it right back to Pratt. And yep, that's what they do. And the hole opens up for Pratt. And Juan Pratt looks like a little gimpy, but enough for a first down.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Roughriders started moving the ball downfield a little out of time. That's going to be enough for first down yardage.
As we are approaching halftime, a minute 25 remaining here in the first half. Roosevelt once again in scoring position. Ball will be spotted. Looks to be at the 10-yard line. Roosevelt can still get a first down. No, looks like they actually gave him a first down. Ball will be spotted. Looks to be about the 11-yard line. As Wilkins hands it off, and he will be tackled. First man there looks to be. He's tackled. Looks like the first man there was number 50, Clifton Dorn. It's like that play was finished up by number 44, Yamar Johnson, who we saw earlier. The big play. Looks like we got a timeout on the field. Coach Chris Harden wants to talk it over with his offense. 34 seconds remaining here in the first half. After the Rough Rider timeout, it'll be second and goal. Ball spotted at the 12. We have another stoppage of time. It looks like an equipment check. Great catch right there by the officials. We want to make sure all of our DCIAA student athletes are safe. Don't get it twisted. I love seeing big hits and all that stuff, but safety first. This will be second and goal for Wilkins and his offense. Two-back shotgun. Anderson is the up back. Wilkins will throw, and it is intercepted by Brown. Here we go. Michael Brown with a host of Crimson Tide in front of him. Can he go the distance? No, he cannot, but Michael Brown, showing why he is the DCIAA Player of the Year, comes up, picks off Wilkins, returns it inside the 20-yard line, and just like that, Dunbar is back in scoring position. Woo! I'm telling you, that kid is a baller. Coach Maurice Vaughn told me about him. Told me that Coach Maurice Vaughn told me last year that Michael Brown was going to be a baller for them, and he is absolutely showing why. After the Roosevelt timeout, Dunbar, after that interception and return by Michael Brown, they come out, scoring position, 21 ticks left. Got to get in the end zone. Definitely want to tie this one up before halftime. That'll be big for them. It's like it'll be Michael Brown in the shotgun. He'll keep it himself. Looks like he's gonna throw, and it is incomplete. Now I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that, and not to question Coach Banks' play calling, but why? No. Doing this type of thing is what got them in trouble last year in the playoff game against H.D. Woodson. They were making some things happen on offense, and then they went away from what they had been doing, and then it turned into a turnover. H.D. goes back down, scores the go-ahead touchdown, and they go to the Turkey Bowl. Dunbar has to do better at play calling. Don't overthink it. You are in scoring position. If anything, I'm going to try to get Michael Brown on a jet sweep. Try to get him in space if I just want the ball in his hands. But I don't want him at quarterback, not here in the red zone, unless I'm going to let him run the ball and keep the ball in his hands. It's not what I want to do if I'm Dunbar. It's not what I want to do if I'm Dunbar. We'll stay right here during this timeout break. But that's not what I want to do if I'm Dunbar. It's not what I want to do if I'm Dunbar. I don't want to do that. I want Michael Brown in space. The only way that I'm putting him in the backfield at quarterback is if we're running it, and he's going to keep the ball right now. Good. It's good to see. Looks like they hearing me through the grapevine. Looks like Jabril Scott is re-entered the game, and Brown will be in the slot, middle receiver to the top of your screen. You got Carmichael at the bottom of your screen. Looks like they're going to go to the end zone, and it's caught. Will they give it to him? Are they going to give it to him? And it looks like he will be out at the 1-inch line. What a throw right there by Scott. See, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Don't go away from what you're doing, Dunbar. Don't go away from what you're doing because it's working. Do not try to reinvent the wheel. Stick with what works. Stick with what works. Stick with what works. 8 seconds. We got 8 seconds right here at the end of the half. Dunbar on the 1-inch line. And unless Michael Brown is keeping the ball himself, that is the only reason he needs to be in at quarterback. He's going to keep it himself, and we have a Crimson Tide touchdown. Michael Brown set up this touchdown, set up this drive with an interception, and then he finishes off the drive with a 1-yard touchdown run. Dunbar ties the game up with an opportunity to take the lead pending an extra point attempt. See, exactly. That's the only reason that Michael Brown is going to be a quarterback, and not to say that he couldn't do it if necessary, but the only reason that Michael Brown, for me, being the playmaker that he is, the only reason I'm going to have him at quarterback is we're going to do exactly what Dunbar just called right there at the goal line. Other than that, I want him in space. I don't want my star player right where the defense can find him. I don't want that. And then Jabril Scott, absolute beautiful of a pass to Carmichael on the play just before that touchdown. Stick with what works if I'm Dunbar. I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel in this one. I want to stick with what works.
Thank you.
Pending extra point, Dunbar can take the lead right here. So with 5 seconds left in the first half, that was a much needed touchdown as they get to stay in this one. Looks like they're gonna go for 2. It looks like Brown is in at quarterback once again. And he'll hand it off, and no dice. But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, Roosevelt Dunbar, Turkey Bowl 52. Looks like we got ourselves a ball game here. 6-6 as we close out the first half. After the Dunbar touchdown, they'll kick off, and it will be a sweep kick. That's a live football, and I'm telling you, if I'm Dunbar, that's exactly what I wanted to do. I'm not kicking it to Collins. He is going to be real bored in this one. And at the end of the first half, man, we got a good one in this one. 6-all, Dunbar, Roosevelt. Make sure you guys keep it locked right here to that Sports Do Network for the second half of Turkey Bowl 52. Welcome back for the start of the second half here in Turkey Bowl 52. Tie ball game between the Roosevelt Roughriders, the defending champions, and the Dunbar Crimson Tide, 2019 Turkey Bowl champions. This game is setting up to be absolutely electric in the second half. So as I always say, y'all get y'all popcorn ready. It'll be Michael Brown back to receive. So we saw him earlier with an interception and a touchdown. And so I can get his steps one more time. 6-6 in this one. I expected a much higher scoring ball game, but it is a great ball game nonetheless. And we are underway. And looks like they're going to give Michael Brown an opportunity. I would not have done that. But good kick coverage right there by Roosevelt. And the Dunbar Crimson Tide will come out on offense here in Turkey Bowl 52. Coming into the second half, again, just great job by both defenses. But if the only thing that I can mention for these teams in this evenly matched game, penalties and turnovers. The team that commits the least amount of penalties, I said this in my halftime report on Instagram, The team that commits the least amount of penalties and the team that commits the least amount of turnovers, I believe, will win this game. It'll be 1st and 10 for Scott and his offense, and he will hand it to McCoy, who we saw with a heck of a first half, and he will be tackled. Looks like a gain of about 2. Good sportsmanship right there by Goff, helping him up. It looks like we have a penalty on the play. Not sure what the penalty is. Let's get the officials called as they are talking it over. Looks like we have holding charged to the Crimson Tide. I just said it. I literally just said it. Penalties. And what is Roosevelt starts it off with penalties. I can't win like that, man. You're not gonna win. You ain't gonna win in DCIAA like that. You know, you're not gonna win in football like that. Commit penalties. You're not. You're not gonna win like that. Not gonna win like that. Not gonna win like that. And I'll say it until I'm blue in the face. I'll say it until Jesus comes. You're not gonna win committing penalties. It's not gonna happen, man. Sorry to say. Dunbar has been playing great defensively. Been getting some things going offensively, but they can't keep shooting themselves in the foot. As it'll be 1st down and 17 after the penalty is enforced. Brown will go in motion. Scott will pull the trigger, and he will find Brown, and Michael Brown with the rare drop. Wow. Wow. I didn't expect that. I think he ran. I'll tell you exactly what happened. He ran before he had the football. He knew he was open. He knew he had Green in front of him. Didn't secure the catch first. Even the greats drop passes, but in a game like this, cannot afford to drop a pass. Not with an opportunity like that. It'll be 2nd down and 17 after the drop by Brown. Let's see if they go back to him on this one. It'll step up, Scott. And it is incomplete. Looks like he was looking for number 4 on that one. Looks like he was looking for Waters. Waters was heavily covered.
Out beyond the 46. They're all knotted up at 6-all here in the Turkey Bowl. Roughriders, they are in the orange.
That'll bring up 3rd down and long. Again, I said it before, penalties. Penalties. Dunbar looking at 3rd and long. After the 2 incomplete passes, as Scott looks under pressure. Loads of time, able to evade the rush, but he was not able to evade Anderson. And Reginald Anderson, showing why he was an all-league selection, comes up big with the sack. Forces Dunbar to punt it away. Good job by Scott to evade the rush for a bit, but eventually was able to get to him, and Anderson able to finish off that drive. Forced Dunbar to punt it away. It'll be number 2, Carmichael Jr. Set to punt it away, back to receive. It'll be number 2, Jason Collins Jr. Looks like we have a stoppage of play. Not sure what the situation is. Equipment check. Looks like the long snapper did not have his mouthpiece in. That is a good catch by the official. Want to make sure all of the student athletes stay safe, first and foremost. Want them to have a good time, but more than that, want them to be safe. And it looks like we're getting ready to get this one underway. Again, if I'm Dunbar, I'm not kicking it. Not kicking it to Collins. Not sure what the stoppage of play is. Not sure what's going on, but just a quick Turkey Bowl Nuggets as we do have a quick moment. If Roosevelt wins today, it'll be the 7th Turkey Bowl title in school history. If Dunbar wins today, it'll be the 12th Turkey Bowl title in school history. Looks like we're getting ready to get this one going now. Dunbar gets set to kick it away. Punt it away. Catch, punt is away, and they'll keep it away from Collins. Looks like he's going to try to make something happen, and he's still on his feet. Jason Collins Jr. still on his feet into Crimson Tide territory, but looks like that one is going to come back a bit. I told y'all, if I'm Dunbar, I'm not kicking the ball anywhere near Jason Collins Jr., and he proved to me exactly why you don't want to do that. Looks like we do have a penalty on the play. I'm sure it'll be against Roosevelt, as you may have saw that crack back at the end. Personal foul. Yep, it'll be charged to Roosevelt, and that'll back them up a good ways. That'll back them up good a ways.
Moving from my right to left.
Yep, 15 yards back to just about midfield.
And the mark-off will have the ball placed at the 49-yard line. Riders will take over just inside the midfield stripe. First and 10.
So Roosevelt will come out. Shotgun formation. I wouldn't be surprised to see the money team go to the end zone here. It's kind of in their DNA. Wilkinson, a man in motion. Looks like gonna. Oh, almost dropped it. And I'm not mad at that. That's a good, strong play right there. It's like a gain of about 4. I'll take it.
What's the game, ladies and gentlemen?
I'll take it.
This is the first time
I'll take it.
We have 2 southpaw quarterbacks playing in the Turkey Bowl.
As Wilkins finds Pratt, and good job by Dunbar. Pratt picking up maybe 1 or 2 extra yards, and that'll bring up third and about short, maybe about 4 yards. One thing I noticed is that Roosevelt is really controlling the pace of the game. I expected, I'm not surprised to see that. I thought it would be a much faster paced game. But Roosevelt pretty much doing exactly what they want to do. Here's the snap, he'll hand it off, and he'll pick up a first down. Academic, easiest 1, 2, 3, as they said back in the day. That'll be a first down, Roosevelt. And if I'm Roosevelt, I'm not trying to do anything pretty. I'm not trying to be fancy. I'm trying to win championship. So if I'm Roosevelt, I'm going to keep it on the ground until they stop it. Because what establishing your run game can do, and that was one of my keys to victory for Roosevelt, it can open up the passing game and a whole bunch of other stuff. As they'll hand it to Pratt. This time Pratt will be wrapped up. That'll be number 24, Dayon Fitch. But looks like we do have another penalty on the play. Looks like this one may be against the Roughriders once again. Looks like it'll be holding. Yep, it will be charged to the Roughriders. That'll back them up. I said it before, man. Penalties. Penalties. Now that is going to be midfield, but it's still going to be first and west nowhere for Roosevelt. Putting yourself behind the chains before new set of downs get started. Can't have that. This time Wilkins will send Pratt in motion. Gets Pratt outside in space. Juan Pratt able to pick up about 10 of those yards. Looks like we have an injury on the play. We'll take an injury timeout. Looks like we have a penalty on the play. Looks like Wilkins was trying to go on a hard count. Looks like Wilkins was trying to go on a hard count. Let's see what the penalty is.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back to the business of football. Once again,
let's see what the referee's call is. Looks like we got a legal substitution.
Certainly we want to acknowledge
as well as an encroachment, both charged to the Crimson Tide.
If you are an alumni from Dunbar or Roosevelt, on the count of 3, I want you to make some noise. 1, 2, 3!
And it'll be second and about 4 after the penalties are enforced. As Wilkins comes out. 2-back shotgun. He'll hand it off. Oh, a bit of confusion. Wilkins keeps it himself. Oh, presses the circle button. Spin move. And that'll be a first down once again for Roosevelt. Again, if I'm Roosevelt, I don't want to change this up whatsoever. I'm going to keep it on the ground. And let's see if Wilkins can get this play off. It looks like Roosevelt scored with too many men on the field. And he's going to, let's see if he pulls an Aaron Rodgers and takes a shot, evades the rush. And he's going to take a shot. And it is intercepted, but it won't count. But it won't count. It's going to come back because Dunbar got caught with too many men on the field. That is a good job by Wilkins to know what was going on and to take a shot at the end zone. Take a shot at the end zone knowing that the play is going to be, the down is going to be replayed. That is smart football by the junior quarterback. That is a smart play. I hope you all watching understand just how smart that play was by Wilkins. We've seen longtime NFL star Aaron Rodgers do that a lot. Go in a hurry up offense, get the defense in a substitution, knowing that there's a penalty on the play and the down is going to replay. He takes a shot at the end zone. That is a smart play right there by Wilkins. It'll be 1st and 5. They'll hand it. They'll keep it on the ground. Montag runs over a man. And that'll bring up, looks to be close to 1st and goal. Looks like it'll be 1st and 10. Looks like the ball will be spotted at about the 14-yard line. But Roosevelt, once again, is scoring position. Let's see if Dunbar can come up with another big stop as they did when Brown picked off Wilkins in the red zone. It'll be Wilkins, and they'll keep it on the ground. This time, however, Dunbar is able to shut the door. It'll be number 24, Dayon Fitch, once again. That is a great job by Dunbar. That'll bring up 2nd down and about 13. If I'm Dunbar, yes, I am. Yes, Roosevelt has driven down the field, but just like we saw at the end of the first half, anything could happen and things could change in a blink of an eye. So again, that's a good, strong play right there by Roosevelt. By the Crimson Tide. That'll bring up 2nd down, and like I said, 13 yards, ball spotted. Here's the snap. Wilkins looks, has time, now under pressure, evading the rush. He can do it with his legs, inside the 5. Khalil Wilkins picking up close to a 1st down. Looks like he's just shy of it, but ball is now inside the, looks to be at about the 10, looks like to be about the 7-yard line. That's a good job right there by Wilkins, surveying the field, seeing nothing was there, pulling it down, going to get himself some yardage, putting his team again in scoring position. Let's see what this offense draws up here. Wouldn't be surprised to see them just hand it off to one of these star running backs. Again, like I said, 1,300, just about 1,300 yards, 15 scores between them, as Pratt is lined up in the backfield. That's the deep back. They will hand it to Pratt. Juan Pratt outside, gets a block. Touchdown, Roosevelt. Theodore Roosevelt finds Pater. Great job right there by Juan Pratt, bouncing it outside and putting his team up by a touchdown. That was a strong drive right there by Roosevelt. Very strong drive from Roosevelt. That is exactly what I wanted to do. If I'm Roosevelt, that is exactly what I wanted to do.
Stop running back. Again, like a 13.
Not surprised to see them hand it to Pratt. That's exactly what they did. Pratt did the rest. Touchdown, Roosevelt. As they'll go for two, as Wilkins is in the empty set. Sends a man in motion. He'll look like it's a screenplay. Let's see if Pratt can make a man miss. Oh, good open field tackle right there by Brown as Pratt loses his cleat. That's a good open field tackle, and that's going to be big if Dunbar is able to get in the end zone as well. But nonetheless, with 6:36 remaining here in the third quarter, Roosevelt now leads Dunbar 12-6. After the Juan Pratt touchdown, Roosevelt will kick off, and this time they give Michael Brown another opportunity. Let's see if he can do something with it. I would not have given him an opportunity, but again, good kick coverage by the Roosevelt Roughriders, and looks like he will be down at about the 40-yard line, and that's where Jabril Scott, senior quarterback Jabril Scott, and this Dunbar offense will take over.
Scoring for coming in from across the country. And the Falcons 0, Washington Commanders 0.
$6:28 remaining here in the third quarter as Dunbar comes out on offense. Still send man in motion. Scott will take the snap. Looks like they're setting up a screen to Carmichael, and he will be tackled. That'll be number 44 for the Rough Riders, Derek Hawkins, coming up, sniffing that one out and making a big, strong tackle. This looks like Carmichael may have had an opportunity to pick up some big-time yardage, but Roosevelt is able to keep him in check. Scott will come out now in the MC set. Let's see if Roosevelt sends some pressure. Nope, they'll rush full. Scott will look. He'll step up, and he'll run. And he will take a shot. And, I don't think that's a good penalty. That's... At the same time, though, I don't like that penalty, but he was giving himself up, as he was sliding, and we do have an injury on the play. It'll be an injury timeout. After the injury, player is able to make it off under his own power. Thank goodness. It'll be Michael Brown in a QB. And he will keep it himself. Michael Brown right up the middle. Like I said, if Michael Brown is playing quarterback, that is the only thing I want him to do. I want the ball in his hands. I want him running. I want him picking up yardage on his way to pay dirt. That's what I want. That is exactly what I want. It's a great play call right there. Great job as well by Brown to pick up some big-time yardage. See if they go right back to the same thing. I don't expect Brown to throw any passes, and they'll hand it this time to Tremont McCoy, who had a really good first half, and he'll pick up, looks to be about 5. If I'm Dunbar, I'm keeping it on the ground. I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. It is working. If I'm Dunbar, I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. I'm keeping it on the ground until Rose proves that they can stop me. I'm not throwing a pass until Rose proves that they can stop my run game right here, as it'll still be Brown in the backfield in at quarterback, and he'll keep it himself. Good job by Roosevelt this time. Looks like that'll be number 5, Josh Harris Goff. And looks like we have another injury on the play. It'll be an injury timeout. After the injured player was able to make it off under his own power, it'll be 3rd and 5 for the Crimson Tide. Ball will be spotted at the 14 of Roosevelt. It's a big 3rd down right here for the Crimson Tide. They got to pick up this 1st down. They got to keep this drive alive. They want to answer this touchdown and stay in this one as we're just under 4 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. It'll be Brown on the sweep. Good block right there. Stays on his feet. And some good tackles right there by Roosevelt. Again, first man there. Once again, Josh Harris Goff, as well as a name we've called quite a few times in this one, Reginald Anderson. That'll be 4th down for Roosevelt. For the Crimson Tide now. Looks like we have a timeout on the field. Timeout comes with 3:25 remaining in the 3rd quarter. After the timeout, after a brief stint out of the ball game, Jabril Scott comes back in, and he'll be in the empty set. See if he is able to go. Look like they're setting up that screen to Carmichael. He has running room, and that'll be enough for a 1st down. 1st down, Crimson Tide. Jabril Scott playing himself a heck of a ball game. Not doing anything spectacular, but just making very, very good throws and very, very smart decisions. It's working for me. I know a lot of people may not like the term game manager. Not to say that Jabril Scott is a game manager. He can definitely make some plays with his arms. But if I'm Dunbar, I want it in his hands. He's shown I want him in the game. And I want Brown. I want to get Brown in spaces. Brown goes. The quarterback, they'll hand it to Clark. And looks like it'll bring up 2nd down and goal. Looks like Dunbar saying, hey, we want to run that again. We want to run that again. It'll be 2nd down. Ball will be spotted at the 2-yard line. If I'm Coach Bink, I'm going to listen to my players, and we're going to run it again. Maybe even try to get Roosevelt to jump right here. Let's see what they do. It'll be Brown keeping it himself, and Roosevelt coming up strong and able to keep Brown out of the end zone. That'll bring up 3rd down and goal. If I'm Dunbar right here, though I do want Brown in the game, I don't know if I want him under center. I just feel it makes my offense one-dimensional. It'll be 2nd down. Ball will be spotted at the 2. It'll be a handoff to Clark. Clark pushing his way. It's a fight at the goal line. And it'll be no. What do we have? What are we going to call? What are they going to call? I don't even think the refs know who scored. Let's see. Touchdown, Crimson Tide. The Crimson Tide are able to tie this ball game up. Looks like the officials were a bit confused in that one, but nonetheless, Dunbar ties it up with 1:24 remaining here in the 3rd quarter with an opportunity to take the lead. That was a big drive by Roosevelt. That was a big drive by the Crimson Tide. They needed that touchdown in the worst way. They needed that in the worst way. Looks like it'll be Scott in to kick the extra point. Let's see if he looks like he's pulling some double duty. It'll be Brown holding. And looks like we have a penalty on the play. Looks like Roosevelt may have jumped the snap.
After the penalty, that ball will be placed at the 1.5-yard line, at the 124-yard. Crimson Tide, time on top. We all got it at 12.
As you all can hear, the Dunbar faithful starting to get into it.
And the crowd gets
This is a big 2-point conversion right here. And I told you it was big. Now instead of a 1-point lead, Dunbar, nonetheless, 12-12 as we have 1:24 remaining in the third quarter. Looks like this one's going to be a shootout at the end. Man, make sure y'all get your popcorn ready. After the Dunbar touchdown, it'll be number 4, Tristan Ward, to set the kickoff. Back to receive will be number 2, Jason Collins Jr., who we saw with a big punt return earlier. The kick is away. Looks like it'll be Pratt on the return. Looks like Pratt getting some running room. He gets a block, stiff arms a man. He'll be forced out of bounds. It's going to be returned by Pratt. Just looks like it'll be down at the 45-yard line. And that is where Khalil Wilkins and this Roosevelt offense will take over. And what a drive by Dunbar. They definitely needed that one right there. 10 plays, 59 yards, 2-yard touchdown run by Clark. Much needed touchdown. Had to get in the end zone there to answer that Roosevelt touchdown. Much needed drive right there. Looks like Roosevelt is gonna take it from Dunbar as Montego handed to Collins Jr. They getting Collins in space. Collins still on his feet. Looks like he may have thought he stepped out of bounds. Looks like he slowed up, might have thought he stepped out of bounds, but nonetheless, that is a first down. It's a good play call right there. Collins is one of those players, though we see him a lot more in the return game, he is one of those players that can make things happen from anywhere on the field, so it's good to see Roosevelt trying to get the ball in his hands because Dunbar is not going to kick it to him. They're not going to kick it to him, so it's good to see them finding ways to get him the football in space with opportunities to make plays and make things happen. Not sure what the stoppage of play is. Looks like may have had a penalty on the play. Or looks like the football wasn't lined up with the yard marker. Good catch by the official. Want to make sure that everything is fair. And they'll send Collins in motion again. And looks like we have a false start. Yep, that's an easy one. They could have saw that one in Southeast. Again, if I'm Roosevelt, if I'm Dunbar, penalties. You're going to kill yourself with penalties. Like I said before, the team that makes the least amount of mistakes in this one is going to be the team that wins. The team that makes the least amount of mistakes, the team that doesn't turn the ball over, the team that doesn't commit stupid penalties is going to be the team that is victorious. And we also have a sideline warning charge to the Crimson Tide, as you all can see the official signaling. To the Roughriders. And looks like Roosevelt gave those yards right back. Looks like Dunbar gave those yards right back. Roosevelt had a false start, pushed them back 5. Dunbar, with a sideline infraction, gave them right back. Penalties, man. Like, I don't understand. Can't commit penalties like that and expect to win, especially in a close championship ball game like this. Nonetheless, back where we started, it'll be 1st and 10 as they'll send Collins in motion. Looks like they were trying to get Collins in space. Like Montego keeping himself. It looks like pickup maybe about 7 yards. Not a bad play call. Not a bad pickup. I'll take it. Anytime you're getting 4 or 5 plus yards a pop, take it every time. I know that doesn't sound exciting to maybe you non-football aficionados. 4 yards 3 times is a first down. You do that enough, you'll get a touchdown. As Wilkins will come back in the game, and they're trying to get Montag in space. He has a whole lot of running room, breaks a tackle, almost broke another tackle, and that'll be first down yardage and then some. I like this methodical offensive philosophy that Roosevelt has going right now. Again, like I said, I've been out of the loop all season, so this may be the type of offense that they normally run, but nonetheless, it is working here today. As Wilkins will come out in the two-back shotgun. Looks like he's going to keep it himself this time. He's going to go to the end zone and throws into double coverage. Harris Goff unable to pull that one in, just a bit high. But again, I'm not mad at Wilkins taking that opportunity at the end zone at the end of the fourth, at the end of the third. As you can see, Roosevelt throwing up the fours at the end of three. Just like we started it and just like we started the third quarter. Tie ball game, 12-12. Roosevelt, Dunbar, Turkey Bowl 52. Make sure y'all keep it locked right here to TSDN, because I'm telling you, this one is going to end in an absolute show. Welcome back for the start of the fourth quarter, 12-12. This Turkey Bowl 52 matchup. Expecting a great game. Great it has been. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Roughriders. Stay on inside the 30-yard line. Ball will be spotted, looks to be at the 19. So we start the fourth quarter. You all wanted a show? You're getting one today. Absolutely getting a show today. It'll be Wilkins in the two-back shotgun, two receivers to his right. It's like single coverage to the top of the screen. He'll hand it to Pratt. Pratt outside, and Pratt looks like close to a first down. Looks like that'll bring up 3rd and about, let's see, maybe 4. Yep, 3rd and about 4. Nice pickup there by Pratt. Wouldn't be surprised to see them hand it right back to Pratt on this 3rd down play. Or possibly run a play so that Wilkins can use his legs. Maybe a read option fake. So the running game is really working for the for the Roughriders. See what they call. Again, island coverage looks like, again, Wilkins will keep it himself, and he will walk into the end zone. Touchdown, Theodore Roosevelt. Like clockwork, it was too easy for him. Touchdown, Theodore Roosevelt, and they go up once more by a touchdown. That was too easy. That was too easy right there. Perfect play call. The running game, again, this is why I said establish the run game. Establish the run game. You want to establish your run game, because when you can establish your run game, it opens up things like read option fakes, where you're able to allow Wilkins to use his legs and make things happen. Now this is a big 2-point conversion. Let's see if Wilkins keeps it himself. Nope, a little bit of a read option. Looks like they ran the Philly special, and it is 2 points tacked on. And ladies and gentlemen, that may be the one that broke the camel's back. Wow. The Philly special, call it the Roosevelt Turkey Bowl special, puts them up by 8 points here with 11:40 remaining in the ball game. After the touchdown run by Wilkins and the Philly special 2-point conversion by the Roughriders, that was pretty cool, I can't lie. They'll kick it off. Oh, they'll kick it onside, and they will recover it. I think that'll do it. But we do have some laundry on the field. Looks like it may be an illegal touch. It looks like it got somebody in the shoulder. Let's see what the officials' call is. This is a big call if Roosevelt keeps this football. Ooh. Let's see. Yep, illegal touching. So that's it is. I'm not sure. Looks like, I believe the illegal touching, let's see, looks like it may have been against the Roughriders. The officials are talking it over. Nope, looks like Dunbar will keep the football. Lucky for them. Looks like it did hit a Rough Rider in the shoulder. Let's see. Yeah, illegal touching charge. Yep, illegal touching, illegal procedures charge to the Rough Riders. Dunbar will keep the ball. Lucky for them.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me correct myself. That will result, at the end of the day, in a re-kick. The ball was rushed.
Let me correct myself. I believe that Dunbar was going to keep the ball, but looks like we're going to have a re-kick.
And the time will be back to receive.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's if Dunbar elected to re-kick so they can maybe give HD Michael Brown an opportunity for a return. I wouldn't be surprised if that is the reason why we are re-kicking here. But we'll see. Let's see. I doubt Roosevelt is going to kick it deep. I don't want the ball in Michael Brown's hands from Coach Chris Harden, so I'm sure they are not going to kick it deep. Yep, swift kick, that's a live football, and this time Dunbar is able to jump on it, and they will take over at about the 44-yard line. So they're down by 8. As I mentioned before, that 2-point conversion that Dunbar missed, I told you it was going to be big, because now they have to get a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie the ball game. They no longer have an opportunity. If they do get in the end zone, they no longer have an opportunity to take the lead, which as we get down to crunch time is going to be big. As Scott looks, surveys the field, mama, as my man Tony Lee, rest in peace to him, would say, mama, there goes that man once again. Reginald Anderson has made his presence felt in this one time and time again. Reginald Anderson making his presence felt. Looks like Scott will get Brown in space. Oh, looks like he got stripped. Oh, that's a big play. That's a big turnover. Looks like Montag stripped him. Has a convoy in front of him. And it will be a Rough Rider touchdown. I love it. I don't know what you can say. That's big players make big plays in big games, and that is exactly what he did. That was huge right there. That was a huge play right there. As you can see, the Roosevelt faithful celebrating as they now go up by 2 scores. And ladies and gentlemen, if I may, that may have put the nail in the Crimson Tide coffin. And it looks like we have an injury on the play. Nope, no injury on the play. We'll stay right here. Looks like that will put Roosevelt up by 2 scores. That was huge. 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 No other way to say it. Now, what did I say? The team that commits the least amount of mistakes, the team that turns the ball over the least, the team that doesn't commit stupid penalties, and the team to win this ball game. And it looks like Roosevelt are well on their way. As Harris Goff trying to get in for 2, and he will be stopped short. But man, nonetheless, Roosevelt up 26-12 here in Turkey Bowl 52 over the Crimson Tide. Roosevelt touchdown. It's a great play by Montag. And they'll swip kick it, and that's a live football. Oh, let's see if Dunbar can do something with this. And he will be tackled. That'll be number 6, Tayshawn Batts on the return. I'm not mad at Roosevelt for doing that. Looks like we do have a penalty on the play nonetheless. See what the official's call is right here. It's like that's charged to the Crimson Tide.
Here's the foul is going to be a session against the Crimson Tide. It'll cost them 5. 10-16 coming on the 4th quarter clock. 26-12. He's will score. Riders. It's 1 time.
It'll be Dunbar. 1st and 10. They'll send a man in motion. Scott will look. Nobody open. Signals receiver. Oh, that's a good catch right there on the sideline. Looks like that's number 2, Kenyatta Carmichael Jr. Great catch on the sideline. It looks like they're going to go right to the line. That's a heck of a catch. Walker has been having himself a pretty good ball. Carmichael's been having himself a pretty good ball game so far in this one. That's a good throw right there by Scott as well. As he'll come out in the shotgun, it'll be 1st and 10, ball spotted just outside the 50. Scott will look, he'll throw. He'll find McCoy. McCoy takes a shot, but he's able to stay up and pick up close to a 1st down. It looks like Dunbar's going to go right to the lines. We're now under 10 minutes remaining as Dunbar trails by 2 scores. He'll be joining the backfield as McCoy goes in motion. Looks like they're going to try to find McCoy. McCoy in space, gets a block, still on his feet, makes another man miss, still on his feet. Tremon McCoy with a great catch and run. But looks like we have a penalty on the play. Coach Chris Harden almost on the foot, almost in the middle of the game to get the officials to notice the flag. Not sure what the penalty may be, but it is towards the backfield. First indication is against the Crimson Tide, and it will be holding. Holding against the Crimson Tide. Again, said it before, penalties. Penalties. Crimson Tide are not making things easier for themselves to come back in this one. Now, one thing I will say, what Roosevelt doesn't want to do, they don't want to get complacent and start celebrating too early. They did that in the regular season matchup between these two teams when they were up by 3 scores early. And Dunbar mounted a comeback and almost won the game. If I'm Roosevelt, I want to keep the pedal down, and I do not want to let the Crimson Tide back into this one. Not sure what the stoppage of play is, but Coach Chris Harden is absolutely losing his mind on the sideline. Looks like he may not agree with the spot of the football. And looks like we're good now. Scott looks, he'll throw. He'll find his man in the flats, and he will be tackled. It looks like we might get a late hit. Yep, that's just bad. Come on. That's just bad. That's just not smart. That's just not smart. Good catch and good throw and catch by Woods and good run after catch by Woods. But Josh Harris-Goff has to be a smarter football player than that. There was no reason for him to jump in on that pile. Just not a good decision right there, and that'll cost them team 15 yards, and that'll give Dunbar an additional 15 yards after that play. That just was not a smart play whatsoever. Not a smart play. Not a smart play, especially up by 2 scores. Not a smart play whatsoever. But I know if I'm Dunbar, I will happily take the stupid penalties that they want to commit. As I'm sure Roosevelt, vice versa, will take any of the stupid penalties that Dunbar commits.
After the mark-off, ladies and gentlemen, that ball will be placed.
Ball will be spotted, looks to be about the 31-yard line. As Scott comes out in the empty set, Brown in the middle up to the top of your screen. Looks like they're going to go to the end zone. I saw Brown running a go route. He throws, and it is caught. That's a good, strong catch by Waters, and that'll be a first down. If I'm Waters, it's not the time to celebrate. We are burning. We're burning clock. I need yards. I don't need celebrations. If I'm Dunbar, I don't need celebrations. That's a good find and a good throw right there by Scott. Let's see if he can do it again. He'll find Brown, looks like, in the slot. Nope, that'll be number 3, Isaiah Brandon on the reception. This is a good drive put together right here by the Crimson Tide, as Scott will go right to the line. He takes the snap, looks, he'll throw, he'll find, looks like Carmichael. Carmichael inside the 5-yard line. Let's see if Dunbar can put some points on the board, as they'll go right to the hurry up. Let's see if they can put some points on the board. They need a touchdown right here as we're approaching the 8-minute mark. It's 2 good plays in a row by the Crimson Tide. Let's see if they can finish this drive off right here as we're approaching the 8-minute mark. Eight minutes remaining here in Turkey Bowl 51. Let's see what they draw up here. It'll be Scott. And almost disaster. But Dunbar's able to jump back on it. Gotta keep composure. They gotta keep their composure, because that almost was disaster. It looks like we have a timeout. Timeout will be charged to the Crimson Tide. It's a smart timeout by Coach Vaughn. Get his team composed so they can put points on the board. Timeout comes with 7:41 remaining in the ball game. After the Crimson Tide touchdown, it will be 2nd and goal. Ball will be spotted. Looks to be at the 4-yard line. Looks to be the 5-yard line, actually. It says 4 on the scoreboard, but I believe it is the 5-yard line. Dunbar needs to get in the end zone on this drive. Here's the snap. They'll hand it off. And Roosevelt plays strong. That was number 9, Michael Clark, who we saw earlier with a touchdown. As we're now under 7:29 remaining. You can feel the intensity start to pick up if Dunbar is able to get in the end zone here. And then maybe force a 3-and-out or even get a onside kick. We might be working with something. It'll be Scott with Brown in the slot to his left. Not sure what the confusion is, but that'll be a timeout once again for the Crimson Tide. Timeout comes with 7:05 remaining here in the ball game. It'll be 3rd and goal. Should the Roosevelt faithful getting into it. Look like Scott will give it himself. Has a man wide open. Are they gonna give it to him? Looks like he's just an inch short. Oh man, just an inch short. That'll be number 17, Kelvin Thompson. Good effort to stretch out. But that'll bring up 4th down and goal at the 1-yard line. That was a great play call. Well drawn out. .625, Roosevelt Dunbar has to get in the end zone here. Fourth down and goal. Michael Brown hands it off. Touchdown, Crimson Tide. Just like that. Crimson Tide. Climb back in this one. Just a bit. Still got some work to do. Looks like we may have an injury on the play. We'll take an injury timeout. It's a big 2-point conversion right here. If Dunbar is able to convert, they cut the lead to 6. They don't, the lead stays 8. And the most they can do is tie. There's the snap, throw, and it is in and out of the hands of Carmichael. And Roosevelt will keep the lead. Nonetheless, 26-18, Roosevelt over Dunbar with 6:06 remaining here in the ball game. After the Dunbar touchdown, it'll be Carmichael set to kick off, and he'll get a onside kick, and that is a live football. Roosevelt is able to get on it. Roosevelt will take over on offense with 6 minutes remaining here in Turkey Bowl 52. That's what you want. That was a good onside kick by Carmichael. Got the good hop. They were just unable to get on it. Let's see what happens from here. My prediction is that Roosevelt is going to hang on in this one. But as we know, especially from this Roosevelt team personally, from this Roosevelt team, we have seen crazier things happen. It looks like we have a timeout. Timeout charge to Roosevelt. Timeout comes again with 6:01 remaining here in the ball game. Here's the situation for the Crimson Tide. They got to force Roosevelt to punt or force a turnover. And then they have to drive down, get in the end zone, and then tack on 2. That's the situation we're in right now. For Roosevelt, just close out this ball game. And they'll get that started off good by handing it to Pratt. It's a good job by Dunbar. That'll be number 11, D'Angelo Bolden. Name I've called a lot in this one. Like I mentioned before. Gotta force a 3 and out, and if I'm Roosevelt, I'm keeping the ball on the ground. Keeping the ball on the ground. So we're approaching, as we're at the 5:30 mark, just under it. It'll be 2nd and 12 after the loss of yards run by Pratt. Send the man in motion. They'll hand it to Pratt again. No, it'll be Wilkins keeping it himself, and he'll pick up maybe 4. That'll bring up 3rd down and about 9 for the Roughriders. If I'm Dunbar, I do not want to commit a penalty here. That is not what I want to do. No encroachment penalties, no offside penalties, no breaks in coverages. If Roosevelt decides to go to the air, which I would not be surprised by. Pratt goes in motion. Looks like they are going to go to Pratt. And Pratt will be tackled. And they'll blow the whistle. It's a good job by the Crimson Tide. And looks like they will get off of the field. That'll be 4th down. See if Roosevelt decides to go for this. Looks like Roosevelt is going to leave their offense on the field. And looks like they're going to go for it. If I'm Roosevelt, I might try to go on a hard count, see if I could get 5 free yards. Still go right to the line. If I'm Dunbar, I'm trying to play very, very disciplined here. And almost jumped. I called it. Khalil Wilkins goes on a hard count, and Dunbar jumps off sides. Oh, whoa. Is that against the Roughriders?
They're going to get a false start.
Whoa! Wow! That, you talk about a change. You talk about a plot twist. Wow. I did not see that coming. Again, penalties. I just said for Dunbar. Want to play discipline, do not want to commit any penalties. And what does Roosevelt do? They commit a penalty, lose 5 yards, and now they are forced to punt it away. Back to, and the punt is away. And they'll punt it away from Brown. That is an excellent punt. And it'll be downed at the 15-yard line. Now that is how you close out a football game. 3 minutes and 12 seconds remaining. You punt the ball.
That was a 47-yard.
You put your opposing team inside their own 20. It's not much more you can ask for in that aspect. Now let's set the stage here. If Roosevelt closes this one out, they go back-to-back and they win the 7th Turkey Bowl title in school history and the 4th overall title in the Coach Chris Harden era. If Dunbar is able to tie this one up, we might be looking at overtime, which would be so fitting as the last time these two teams met in the Turkey Bowl, they went in overtime. Looks like we have a penalty on the play. Looks like it may be a delay of game. Nope, looks like it'll be 12 players on the field. Charge to Roosevelt. I just said it about the. I just said it before. That false start penalty. That'll be 1st and 5 to start off this drive for the Crimson Tide. Scott comes out in a 2-back shotgun. Send Brown in motion. Here's the snap. They're going to get Brown in space. Mike Brown makes a couple moves. And this time, good ball security. That'll be a 1st down, Crimson Tide. 3 minutes remaining here in Turkey Bowl 52. As you can hear the Roosevelt faithful getting into this one, if they can possibly smell another Turkey Bowl title. Dunbar with another 1st down. It'll be Scott joined in the backfield by McCoy. 4 receivers as Brown goes in motion. Looks like they're trying to get Brown in motion. Looks like he's gonna throw. Has a man, and nope. Fake me out. He will be tackled. Looks like he had something. Looks like he had Waters wide open. Unfortunately, no dice. If Dunbar is able to model comeback, get in the end zone, and then tackle on 2, as we're now at 2nd and 17 with 2 minutes remaining, it'll be the 12th Turkey Bowl title in school history. No, excuse me, we'll probably be looking at overtime. As Scott comes out in the empty set. Under pressure, under heavy pressure, and I think that will do it. That'll be number 8, Juan Pratt, with his 2nd sack of the game. And as you can hear the crowd starting to get into it, I think Roosevelt is going to go back to back. Looks like Roosevelt with 1:20 and counting. Looks like they're on their way to closing this one out, as it is 3rd and West Nowhere for the Crimson Tide. Scott will take the snap. Under pressure, and he will be sacked once again. That'll be number 9. Mama, there goes that man once more. Reginald Anderson. and also Juan Pratt. They had a party at the quarterback. And as we're now under a minute remaining, Roosevelt can taste it now. This looks to be the final play of the ball game. They're just going to take a shot. Oh, that's a heck of a catch. But, however, looks like that'll just about do it. As you can see, the Roosevelt sideline absolutely going bonkers.